Hey guys, what's up? Cosmos TV, and yesterday we did kind of like our base tour, and today what I did was I was really unhappy with my current copper production, and that's because I only had a Mark 1 on this yesterday, and this is a pure node, and tapping into tier 6 resources has taken my 100% efficiency and essentially deteriorated it and made it to where I essentially am going to have to max these nodes out. And I probably should have anticipated that. Um, so today, essentially, I'm tearing this factory down and I'm rebuilding it to make a 100% efficiency factory with the Mark II miner, which this is now a Mark II miner, which means it puts out 240 per minute without any overclocking. So I just finished and I wanted to set this up because I don't have editing software, so I can't really cut a whole lot of this out without destroying the video. To show you guys my new copper factory, which should be 100% efficient to make both wire and cables. That's what it is, wire and cables. So this is my new factory, and as you can see, I'm going to be pumping in 240 copper ore per minute. So each one of the smelters takes 30 to get going. So it's going to require 30 at each one of these to get at 100%. So let me make sure everything's set. We'll kind of run through real quick. And before we connect it up, it is not connected to my main hub yet. So once I do this, I tore apart my tier 6 resources so I could redo everything and kind of reset the factory. And I didn't have the space to make this where the old copper factory was because of this land bridge here. I was going to go vertically, but it didn't really work out for me there. So actually I should have pretty easy access to take all of my end products and connect them up to where my coal runs in right now and get it back to my main hub pretty easily. And I did that, and this should be all copper. No, this is copper wire up here. This one's going to be cables. We should see that as it comes out. So essentially kind of what I have set up here in this kind of maze of conveyor belts, but everything splits for a reason. I'm splitting the resources so they don't get wasted and they don't get bottlenecked too hard. Sure, it's going to fill everything up, but everything's going to be running 100% efficient, so it will get everything going. And we'll kind of check this as I pump the volume in here. I just powered everything up using tier 2 cables, so I have the tier 2s here for all 4, and it connects to this one. This is kind of like my main hub, so when I wall it off, I won't have wires all over the place. Everything should be kind of neat. This is my main power line that runs to everything else, and everything else kind of has its own grouped wire source. And I have this here just to kind of give you guys a brief overlook of what's going on. As you can see, one tier 2 power supply for each of my constructor groups here. So I believe everything's connected. We'll find out here very, very quickly. And I should have my conveyors running properly. So everything's going to continue to split the resources down. Everything's going to split, merge back together, and then it's going to feed everything, merging out, feeding then my cables at the end. So I have a graph, if I can show you guys somehow my display capture, but is it going to show you guys my... How do I move this up top here? Okay. So here was what I have for you guys so you can visualize it. I have one pure Mark II miner. It's not going to be overclocked at all. It says it is, but it's not. And I found this on the Reddit. So this graph here, pretty much I need 180 copper ore per minute to make all the ingots for my wire that I'm going to make at 12 constructors, which I have already set up. We can count them out. And then I need 60 per minute to smelt into the ingots to make the wires, to make the cables. So how I'm going to establish that is going to be pretty simple, actually. One, two, three, four, five, six make wire. Then these two on the ends make cables. That's why they're facing the opposite way. So all the wire comes out, will feed in, and then it will take half of it out, and then it'll split the other half in until it maxes out, in which I'll just essentially just be feeding wire like crazy. So all my ingots are going to merge together, and they're going to feed all of my wires. Oh, see, that's why I wanted to double check real quick. I just finished doing this because I didn't want to take up too much video time building until I can edit or get an editor to do that for me. I don't want to like, because this probably took me I don't know, like 45 minutes to an hour, and I just, to get everything gridded out and all that, is, I think it's just too much time without being able to speed up or anything. So without further ado, let's get her hooked up. Let's see what happens. So this should coincide pretty nicely with my current situation here. And all tier 4 belts. Sorry, it's probably one omission I have. So let's run back up to our tower here and kind of follow it along, see what happens. Alright, so I've got all my ingots going in, wires coming out, and it should be feeding and halving off. So I should have both cables produced at the end, and then also wires. So there goes my cable and wire. Let's kind of go take a check and see how efficient the machines are. So it's continuing to count up. It's keeping up with its copper ore. That will be 100, and I'll stick around to show you guys here at the end. Waiting on ores to come down still, so that's kind of something. It's gonna bottleneck. This one's gonna take the most. This one's probably already 100. Then this one will fill up next. So once we give it time to get lubed up and warmed up here, it'll be good to go. Let's run down here. Alright, so I got my cables down here, and this should all, yeah, wire. Alright, cool. So that did work out. So these three are splitters, splitting off to the end, merger, and then this right here is actually a merger for these two, and then this is a splitter, whereas all of these are mergers on the outside. So they're merging all of these, and then this splits, so then I can split wire to my cable constructor and then feed out this way as well. So let's see, says 0, so that's 100%, 43%. Yeah, we gotta get the machines lubed up. They gotta get some production. This will all run efficient. I just have to get everything caught up. So it will backlog, and then we'll let it run. And I'll probably update you guys real quick on the next video, or we'll just wait it out and see what happens here. So once I get everything backlogged just slightly, and then I can go ahead and release all of the resources at the end, I'll show you guys. It will all, the numbers do work out. It's just getting everything pre-warmed up. The numbers always kind of tell you a different story, because the way the splitters work is they continue to half resources all the way down. But once the machines fill up, which these first machines will fill up really quickly. Yeah, this one's already been full. This one's full already. This one's probably pretty close. Yep. And then this one's going to start really filling up here because everything else in front of it is already backlogged. So we'll just get everything kind of prepped up here. I probably should have just not powered it, filled it all up with ore, and then let it run to show you guys. It's alright though. It always takes a while, but once everything starts flowing and everything starts getting caught up, it'll work itself out. I promise you guys, this is a 100% factory. Let's see how we're doing here. Perfect. Looking solid. I like it. I like it. And actually, this is all still feeding my others, so this is all running at 100. I just doubled the size of my factory because I upgraded the miner to a Mark II. So since now that is, it doubled itself essentially, because it was a Mark I at 120. So I've doubled it to the 240 per minute since it's a pure node. I could I could overclock it. Oh, that's the other thing. I did go slug hunting. I found an insane amount of slugs. I found one of the craziest caves with one of the largest spiders I've ever seen. I had my daughter in my lab, and I actually got scared. I actually it caught me way off guard. I wasn't totally ready. I won't lie. So good thing camera wasn't on. That way I can keep my manliness intact. Since, like I said, I don't really have a good way of editing out my girlish screams. But I appreciate all your guys' help and all the views you guys gave me on the last video, man. That was really awesome. But the one thing it didn't have is likes, man, and I would like it if you guys are enjoying the content, man. Just go ahead and drop a like on the video. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see next. I'm gonna probably continue to upload videos about the factories as I produce them and create them for you guys. So this one's all copper. Our copper is it's one of the first resources you do, but since I started getting into all the tier 6 stuff, the oils, the plastics, the computers, and smart chips like that. So, man, I will tell you that really drained the resources faster than I thought. It started killing all the backlog I had, and all my backlog was working at 100% efficiency. So I was like, okay, it's time to go to the next step. I was sorely mistaken. Unfortunately, wow, lag spike. I was not ready by any measure. So actually, I deconstructed. I'm gonna rebuild this after I reform all my previous factories, and I'm probably gonna reconstruct this whole thing. And then I want to fix Spaghetti Land. I want to make it so I could put in my truck station, which if you guys didn't notice, I don't have a truck station, and I don't because I don't really have a need for it, other than just to be like, oh, I have it. But I don't have a need for it at the current moment. So therefore, I'm just kind of waiting until I can set up a situation, because your conveyor belts have to be more than one space off. Vehicle can't drive it. The tractor can't drive under this, so I would have to lift all these up, and I'm intending to do something pretty neat. I like the idea I have here where I can store stuff so I can come grab it if I need it. I think it's always a really good idea, and I've seen some videos where people say not to do that, but I like to be able to come grab resources as I need, and I had to make more steel. We'll go through that because I'm going to redo all this too, and I was testing all of my production capability, and I kind of made myself a smart storage system here so I can just come dump resources when I'm done using them to keep my inventory empty as necessary. Since I built everything already um, that I intended to, we'll just let the factory warm up, and then we'll go check the numbers real quick, even though it's probably not going to tell me that it's all 100% because I'm going to have backlog, or I'm going to hear somebody tell me that well, your machines aren't pumping to their conveyor lines. I understand what you're saying. Once the factory gets backed up and running as normal as it should, once it starts normal production, it will be a 100% factory. It's just like I said, things have to run for a while. They don't start at 100%. They just gotta keep running. So yeah, I think that for the most part, that's kind of what my goal is. My goal is to have everything running 100%, to include when I make computer production, and try to find out what it's involved in getting all of that production to be 100% other than just having massive quantities of things. I'd like to have much more massive factory, and for this I did start upgrading my power. So I did go and add more fuel generators, and everybody's well, you have way more power than you're using. Well, the intent is going to be to use it all of it. So once the factory is running and I'm starting to produce all of my supercomputers and things of that nature, waiting and anticipating the next update, I intend to produce what I need to produce at 100%. So let's take a look. See, I know everything's backing up, and you guys may not believe me, but in the next videos, we'll check back as I get using components and parts and pieces that we need to be doing for this. Yeah, we're just not getting the ores down here yet. That's alright. They're on their way. This is backed up. This one's where it's at right now. So now that we're getting everything smelted, of course these are going to be all at 100 now because it is backed. But now, Jesus, I'm stuck. Okay. Here, matter of fact, let's do this. I just put all my concrete away. Okay. It's fine. We'll just take from here. I don't want to have to run and waste all that time. You know what? It's not going to matter. I'm going to need plates and rods. I think I can edit this out on YouTube. So we'll see if I can do that. Hopefully I can do that. I have plates, no rods. Son of a... Not enough rods. I need to have at least, I think it's 20, 10 per container. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Hello. You know what? We'll just grab some concrete. Sorry, guys. I know, little cray-cray. But, yeah, if you guys don't mind, man, just, show the video some love, or, thumbs it down if you don't like it. But I'm doing my best. If you guys don't know much about me, I work full-time. I'm a really busy guy, and I used to do a lot more with this, and I'd love to continue to create content. I like to stream and stuff in my free time, but I got a lot of kids, so my kids keep me pretty occupado, unfortunately. I may overclock the miner because I do see even though 3060 6120, so yeah, it should be 240, so it should be able to, like I said, it theoretically. Well, gotta get it started somehow. Alright, we're going to test it out real quick. We're gonna test out my theory, even though it's not really a theory. Numbers shouldn't lie to us, right? That's what they say. Okay, anyhow, so we'll put storage containers here for right now, and then one here. Get rid of that. That one may not be tall enough. Oh, cool. Perfect. Oh my goodness grief. Even when I took that away, I can't? Okay. It's fine. It's fine. I will learn not to prematurely take resources and file them away before I need them. Sorry, again. We're gonna do this right now. Let's do it. Okay. So let's get our cables going. Jeez, that's wires going so quick. Okay, let's go see. Now that I overclocked it, everything should be kind of filling up perfectly. Okay, perfect. These are all my smelters are at 100. Now let me take the overclock off because that's not the intent. Let's just get everything filled up. And I'm gonna make another way. I'm gonna start using jump pads and stuff strategically to make getting around the base a lot easier. Possibly even doing conveyor belts around, so that way we can do this once I get all the factories finalized. I'm not really in a hurry because the game's still in its early releases, so I should have plenty of time. Obviously, it's the furthest ones away that I want to check out and make sure they're still okay. 100. Okay, everything is, if not mistaken, 100. The furthest ones away are usually going to be the problems. 100, and 100. Okay, everything is running at 100% as promised. Just takes time to get things started because all the splitting is normally what's going to really kind of dampen the mood on things, but If I have to, I can. In fact, overclock, as you guys see, I found 30 shards, so I really went slug hunting. But this is what our copper factory has come to be. So our new copper factory now will supply everything, and I believe my production is 700, so 540 wire per minute, and then I'm producing 90 cables per minute currently with this setup. So if I find another, and I think there's another copper node somewhere pretty close by. I know that one. I think there's another pure node over by my Caterium ore. Oh, no. Okay, that's a lot further away than I thought. If I needed to, I could go do that. Um, but currently, right now, I think that this is going to solve my problems. I essentially doubled both my production of wire and cable. And the other thing is now all my wire is going to be on the same supply, so that'll be really convenient because I had it split before in this factory over here, coming out two ways and into two different containers, which could work. But I think that it's going to be easier to get everything on one line and running through it the way it should. So that's all for this video, my friends. Next will probably be, I think my iron factory is good. I'll take you guys through a tour closer up, but it's kind of a similar concept, except I have all plates on one side, all rods on the other. But I might do a quick video on that. Um, you know what? Let's just go do it. It won't take long, and I don't think it's worth a second video of just trying to get you guys to click on stuff. So we'll go check out the iron factory really quick. The iron factory was my first factory that I have, and I'm not displeased with how it turned out. I think that this factory produces really well. I do have problems with rods at some points though, but it's the same concept through here. I split everything that comes in, and it's all coming in supplied off of one pure miner. Let's see if I can show you guys how that's running. So I have my pure miner, oh my goodness, my pure iron ore on a Mark II comes in, but instead I had both of them feeding, but now I only have the one, and it splits. I don't ever have a problem with anything other than keeping up with iron rod production when producing everything that, like motors and everything else. But it comes up here to this part of the factory, eight constructors, which I believe 15, 30, 60. We could probably do the same. I could probably double the size of this factory if needed. But I produce far more iron plates than I've ever used so far, and I don't think that that's going to change. So if I was to add, I'd probably add another iron rod factory, because iron rods, I think, are used for more things in the assemblers. So this here is currently my iron factory, and I don't think that there's a whole lot really bad about this. I got my 8 smelters down here, each one, but with 8 I could do another 8 constructors. We might up our iron rod production, and I'll probably just go up. We'll continue going up like we're supposed to do, vertical construction. Boom, might go on top and then do it. But everything feeds out really nicely through here into the floor, and I had this great idea for how nice my belt lines were going to be and everything, and yeah, I think that this part over here really kind of threw all of that off. We will fix all of this over time, I promise, because I want to get trucks that have free reign to drive through here. So my truck station I intend to put on the ground floor down here and let it run out as need be. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to get everything off of the first floor. So everything's going to have to be elevated, and we'll work on doing that over progress. Maybe we'll continue doing that in the series that we have here. I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I'm going to tear this factory apart now that it is done. Alright, my friends, until next time, make sure that you hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and if you guys do not mind, man, sub to the channel and I will continue to upload as frequent as possible, hopefully a couple times a week. Until next time, friends, take it easy.